The Frames Per Second podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. I am your host for the evening. My name is Mike Seatown. Next to me, I have Rod.
What up, man?
Next to me, I have Ken.
Hola.
Next to Ken, I have Spike.
What up?
And we are reviewing the movie Heretic. This is a movie that was directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They're kind of like a team. They also did a movie called Haunt that I really, really liked. It was like a weird circus horror movie. It was really good. Then they did a movie called 65. I don't know how many of y'all saw that. With Adam Driver and the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Huh?
They did that?
That shit was bad.
Oh,
It's
so bad. I watched it on a plane.
Me too. That's weird. That's why I watched it on a plane.
What's the name of it?
65. It's so ass.
So bad.
But
oh my
yes,
God, it was so bad.
But they're back with another film called Heretic. And this one stars Sophie Thatcher, and it also stars, I forget the other girl's name, unfortunately, but it also has Hugh Grant.
Which one is Sophie Thatcher?
Sophie Thatcher is the blonde one.
Okay.
She was also in what's the Star Wars show that you like that I hate?
Show that I like. Boba Fett?
Boba Fett. She was in Boba Fett.
What was she in Boba Fett?
She was one of the people on the She was like one of the little hipster mod people on the little scooters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But she's a good actress. She really is. And I discovered that saying actress is not offensive. I think that was some weird liberal shit, so we can say actress again.
Okay.
Trying to get you, bro.
Yeah, they did get me
culture
good because
wars
I
and
was
shit.
like, yeah, the damn culture wars, they got me again. But all right, let's go. Let's go around.
I had told y'all that. I said you can still say it.
You did, but I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know if you really saw that somewhere. If you just,
Oh, no. Yeah, you can
know,
still say it.
You
It
be
just...
saying shit sometimes, you know.
Who, me?
Yeah, you couldn't be then. Who?
You fucking dumb.
All right, since Rod's already talking, we'll go ahead and go around the room. Rod, what was your quick thoughts? Did you fuck with this or no?
I did. This was entertaining, man. This was a shocker. Like, I did not think I would be this entertained. Like, nah, this was good. This is probably my surprise pick of the year, man. Like, for real. Like, I really enjoyed this.
Interesting. Ken, what did you think of this movie?
Yeah, I didn't know shit about the movie.
Yeah,
but
I
I did love it. Definitely. Yeah. I loved it. I actually really enjoyed it.
Spike.
I went in blind as well. I ain't see anything about it, and I liked it. I liked the movie.
What?
Yeah, I did. I like psychological thrillers. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what's gonna happen next. I think Hugh Grant did an amazing job. Man, he was
Jesus.
bodying this. So yeah, I like it.
Interesting. I was not expecting this from any of y'all, really. No, especially you,
Why not?
because
Okay, we can get into it.
they're talking to you.
We're not
Yeah.
talking.
Wait,
they
you
talking
didn't
to
expect
you.
your
No,
belief.
They don't talk.
Your
I
belief.
thought
Oh,
you might
you
fuck
talking
with
about
it.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Everything
thought
you
might fuck
believe
with it.
led you here. I'm like, that was a dope ass line.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm like you. Like this is definitely one of the better things I've seen this year, and I didn't expect it to be because I had no idea what it was really about. I only
Yeah.
watched half the trailer. I was just gonna go see it because it's A24 and I'm a fucking A24 simp. So yeah, I fucking loved this movie and the questions that they were asking, the discussions that they were having, 100% up my alley.
Yeah, that's when they got me. But let me ask you something real quick as an aside. A24, they've been kind of slipping a little bit, haven't they?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little
It's like,
bit.
yeah,
But it's
slight
not a
slippage.
it's not a big major
Yeah,
slip.
yeah.
But you know, Civil War when I went back and rewatched it wasn't great. You know, the Maxine trilogy ended up being a flop. So yeah, they've slipped a little bit, but it's not enough to make me be like, I'm done.
Yeah. It was just
know.
like you're just not getting everything right.
Yes. Yeah.
Enjoyed. They weren't awful,
Yeah.
but it wasn't up to where the level that they normally were.
They
But-
brought me back with I saw the TV glow. I was like, oh
Yes,
yeah, they're
absolutely.
back on track. They're back on
Absolutely.
track.
Yeah, but anyway, that's all.
Yeah, that sounds like a conversation, really. But anyways, ooh, we should rank our favorite A24 films.
Somebody
would
said
be
that. I
fun.
thought that was in the.
Was it?
Yeah, it was one of the.
Sister Paxton and Sister Barnes, who are having a discussion on a bench. Spike, are magnums bigger than regular condoms?
That's crazy.
what?
You went to Spike
What
first.
you asked me?
Yo, that's
I asked you
crazy.
if magnums are bigger than
Hey,
regular
yo.
condoms.
Rod said I can't say pause no more.
You can't say pause
Somebody said they're
anymore.
gonna get you a bidet for Christmas too. On
I
radio.
would. I would. He's gonna change his life, bro.
Yeah, they are. They
All
are.
right. Did you like that conversation at all?
I did. That was funny. I thought all of the conversations and what they alluded to, and just it was almost like they were breaking a fourth wall. So it was really cool the way that they did that. So yeah, I liked it.
I'm with you, especially with. I mean, it's a very good directorial move, like to come from behind
Angle that they came
or whatever.
in.
Yeah, that angle. So yeah, like it's like
That
you
was
coming,
cool.
You're
Yeah.
coming in, you know, like you're a fly on the wall, like
Yep.
like oh man, they talking about something. Let me see what they talking about. Man, it was so good. It was so good, man.
Great shot.
Jeez.
Ken, what did you take from that conversation?
I've been trying to process that, especially when I got halfway through the movie. What were they trying to let us know up front about these two characters? The seemingly surface level thing was one has faith, and one is a little bit like, oh, I'm kind of peek on this side a little bit and look at some other stuff and like, ooh, I don't know about that. That's bad. That's awful. But I'm still looking anyway, you know. So it was a question about wavering faith, and you know, especially when she, you know, one of them was like, so have you seen that all? She was like, ah. So which kind of came back later. But it felt like there was some other things being said that I wanted to, because I really want to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
That I wanted to pick up on.
I
But
haven't felt like I wanted to rewatch a movie.
but
in a
yeah,
minute.
but that was it. That was it. Just the kind of surface level thing that I got off the conversation.
This is one of those movies that I'm actually really glad that I'm hosting, because when I know we hadn't established who was hosting it, but I was like, I guess I'll do it, because I'm in the theater and I'm taking notes while I'm watching it. So when I went back later after it was over, I could analyze what was happening at the beginning, which kind of kills the whole I need to rewatch it to see what I missed. So this helped a lot. But they're arguing about the size of condoms, and they're both interpreting the product differently because of the marketing. One of them was marketed as them saying, look, magnums are bigger. And then another person hears word of mouth saying the opposite, which relates to the rest of the movie. It shows how listening to product marketing versus word of mouth marketing completely changes your perception of the product itself. So I found that to be very, very, very interesting. But we found out that they're Mormon missionaries, and they're going out doing the door-to-door thing, harassing people. But they go to the home of Mr. Reed, who's played by Hugh Grant. On first meeting, Rod, what did you think of Mr. Reed?
I mean, that's the only thing I saw. I saw a trailer, so I knew he was. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but he seemed, you know, like a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I knew he wasn't based on the trailer.
Oh, I cut it off before that, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you were to assume, and they still did a really good job during. Like, is he really a bad guy? Like you really didn't know until like a little further in.
Yeah.
Like he was just kind of like, you know, he had his questions. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like he was trying to harm him or kill him. So yeah, I just thought he was just like a, you know, if I hadn't seen the trailer, I would think he's just like a regular guy. Like, oh yeah, come in, whatever. The water's fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Same for you, Spike?
Same, exact same. Like it was more so the poster, because I didn't see the trailer. I went in completely blind.
Yeah.
But it was the poster and how they were perceiving. I'm like, okay, so when is he going to turn bad? But in the beginning, it was like, okay, it's cool, dude.
Only reason I saw the trailer is because I just realized I cut you off. But the only reason I saw the trailer is because I saw it at a movie I went to.
you was watching.
A movie I was watching. Because I don't actually go look at trailers. Like it just I got there early and I saw it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's one of those movie things. He had to be the bad guy, but how, right?
Yeah.
You know, because there was a limited number of people that was in the movie, and he's a name that we know. But I think they did a good job. He did a great job of just seemingly. What I loved is that he seemed harmless.
Yes.
And again, kind of this marketing thing is kind of going back to the beginning. That's how he portrayed himself.
Yeah, for sure.
And people are going to believe the image that he put forth. So, that's what I got from him off rip. But I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to happen. Like, as soon as they walked in, it was like, you okay with medals in the in the walls and stuff.
That was another thing. So I wrote that down when I was in the theater because I was like, that has to mean something.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
figured.
I
The
didn't
whole
know
cell
that it
phone
would
thing.
block out your. I wasn't even thinking cell phones. I was like, why is he asking if they're okay with metal and?
Yeah.
Getting
I
your
had no
consent.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
I immediately thought that they're not gonna be able to use their cell phones in this house because if they can easily just tell somebody to come. So I was like, they had to figure out a way that they can't use the cell phones.
Yeah. He. I don't remember at what point of the trailer I turned off, but there was definitely a moment I was like, well, this is A24, so I bet you these little Mormon girls are the bad guys. So I was cool with Hugh Grant or with Mr. Reed at first when he's talking about he's cooking blueberry pie and he has a wife, but the wife was too shy to come out. I was like, oh, his poor wife. She's just shy. Oh, well. But when he's asking all these questions, I'm like, he's not giving me villain vibes at all. But it turns out that Reed's been studying religion for a really long time. Ken, what did you think about the way he compares religion to fast food? And when he talks about the one true religion, did you already kind of guess what he was talking about?
I did not, and I was definitely curious to see where he was going, but I just love how he broke all of that stuff down, and it was just the beginning. This sort of stuff have always fascinated me. So, and to hear, I mean, we're gonna get into it later, but yeah, just the beginning, how he was just setting it up, and it was just slow little drips of how he was kind of having them kind of question certain things themselves that they haven't even thought of, but they were holding strong to the things that they've sort of been brainwashed maybe into believing.
Well, one was holding strong. Sister Paxton, I feel like she was holding strong. I feel like the other one was trying to convince herself.
Which one? The
dark
blonde hair
one.
one?
I think the
Oh yeah, the dark hair one. Yeah,
she was able to hold her own. She sounded a lot more knowledgeable than different. It's a different kind of knowledge, I think, but or confident. It was weird with her, but I liked her approach. It's like she had she was red. You could tell that she was red, and the other one was kind of more influenced or whatever. Like
she was a
based on
salesman though.
She was based on based on what somebody's told her.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones has done the research. It seems like that they were two different people in that way.
It seemed like she was the one that had all of the right things to say, the sales pitches, the lines,
Which
and stuff
one?
like that.
Line?
Okay,
No, the dark Barnes.
Barnes.
So
That's
it's
the
Barnes
one
and
with the blonde
Paxton.
hair,
So
right?
Barnes and Paxton. Barnes is the girl from Star Wars.
Yes,
The dark-haired one.
Barnes
Paxton
had all
is
the
blonde.
pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh,
had
wait.
all the
All right, I got
catchphrases
him.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Paxton was like 10 toes down.
That's the dark hair one, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, right.
Paxton is the one that basically lives to the end.
Oh, then I got him mixed up.
Yeah, I
Unless I do. Hold on, real
Yeah,
quick.
see, I
Hold on,
thought sister-
real quick. Let me.
The
let me
dark
make sure.
hair one.
Yeah,
And the
that's-
light skin, the blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you
good.
couldn't wait. She wasn't easily wavered. Like
Yeah. But nah, overall it was because I was like, it was a good discussion of how he was just pretty much just setting up how all these people were running around believing these things that they've been told.
Yeah.
I had an art teacher like that. He would always break down religion and things like that. So make you question certain things. Like, yeah.
So they're both dark-haired, but
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say.
Oh, they are?
yeah.
One's more
Yeah.
bubbly.
One's
than
a
the
little.
other.
One's a little. She kind of comes off a little blonde, but yeah, I was right. So Barnes is the one that seems to be more red. Paxton is the other girl, the one that's a bit more timid, the one that hadn't had any baptisms yet. That's
Okay, that's Paxton.
Yeah, Paxton is the one that lives to the end.
I-
Barnes,
Paxton.
yeah,
And Barnes is the dark head. All I need to know is that Barnes is the dark head one, and I know who the other one is.
yes,
Got it.
yeah, but yeah, I'm looking at pictures. They're both.
Yeah, yeah.
They both have dark hair.
Yeah.
but Yes.
But the other one, like
In
you
real
said, she
life
kinda
or in the
has-
movie?
No, in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they're both dark hair. I think one just acts like she's not dark hair.
Exactly.
That's funny.
exactly.
But
Okay, so Zoe Thatcher is Barnes.
yes.
Oh, damn, no.
And the
So
other
Chloe's-
one is
Oh, she has
Paxton.
dark hair in real life, and damn,
And in the movie.
damn, that's great. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know. Yes.
Where'd
Yeah,
I
anyways.
get blonde from?
Cause like Mike said,
She
she
kinda
kind
acted
of
like a blonde.
talks
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
yeah,
fucked
And
up.
in the light, it
It is
might
messed
appear
up.
a little bit lighter, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
I don't think she was blonde in the film.
Her outfit was lighter, I think.
Maybe that's it,
She was a
right?
whole lot of bit.
I know.
Nah, that was
shoot
fucked
myself.
up.
She had a
Yeah,
white
too.
shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Damn.
But yeah, I like this whole discussion. I like the whole idea of them painting missionaries as salesmen. I found that to be interesting. But Spike, what do you think was going on when we see that the candle is blueberry? Because he told them his wife was cooking a blueberry pie, and they were stoked. They were hyped for some blueberry pie. So what do you think was going on?
That's when it kind of turned. Like you said, when we first met him, it was like, okay, he's a cool guy. But then you see the blueberry pie, and it's like, oh, he with the shit. Like something's going on, and now the movie's about to start. So that was kind of the first clue for me. He was a bad guy.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Did you think the same thing, or were you just like, I don't know what's going on. This is weird.
I knew I was spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that. But again, I didn't think that he was just like a bad guy like that. Really? I think he just had. He was questioning him, like, "Yo, are you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's the bad person here? Are you trying to influence me to go this way, or am I the bad person for trying to talk some sense into you or whatever?" So I thought it was really interesting. I felt like he was very charming.
Okay.
So I'm still not thinking he's just like a bad person yet.
Why did you think he was lying about the pie? Did you not think he was lying? Just thought that was a coincidence?
No, I thought he was lying about the pie. Like,
yeah, you could tell he was lying off rip.
Yeah. He was lying
else.
and stuff. So you just want to say bad in the sense of like he's a liar. Yeah, sure. But I think his
motives or whatever weren't bad.
Absolutely.
Getting that.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay, so since we're talking about that, Ken, why do you think he was? What was the whole purpose behind the blueberry candle being a lie?
That's what I was trying to figure out, if there was some significance to blueberry pie. Was he just trying to show that if you create a certain vision or aura that people are willing to believe it? You know, I'm telling you that this blueberry pie is there. It's kind of like you said a couple of scenes later. I'm telling you that my wife is here and I got a wife. You know, I'm telling you all these things, and you want to believe the things that I'm telling you because there are some sensory things that are happening, and because I'm coming across a certain way. But you didn't verify this. There's a military thing, trust but verify. So you wanted to believe that my wife is here so you can come in, and you broke the rules. Because
he kind of says that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He basically told him, like, yeah, you guys just went along with everything I said.
Yeah, I took it that he was just pushing the point home of the dangers of just flat out believing something without, thinking about it, without testing it, just being like, okay, someone told you this, so therefore it has to be true. So yeah, I actually really like that part. But Reed and Paxton figure something weird's going on, so they decide that they need to leave, but the front door is locked. Then they realize they only have one bike key, and they realize their cell phones won't work. So that's when I figured out, metal in the ceiling and walls. So they're forced to go and confront Reed. Spike, what did you think of the conversation they had surrounding them believing that he had a wife despite their doubts? What was the point of this?
I think it's just like the candle. Like, you are trusting but not verifying. Like, I'm telling you these things, and you guys doing something similar by going around like peddling the word or whatever it may be. And one of them seemed real, like Rod said, but the other one's just, I'm repeating stuff that people have told me. And I think it lane in the same vein as like when he was talking about his wife. Like, you guys didn't verify anything. You're just going off everything I said, and that puts you in a position that you in, as he said later in the movie.
You got the same thing, Rod?
Yeah.
I think it was like the first time where they had to confront their faith to a certain degree, because he put it out there, and they're pretty sharp. So once he said that you guys just kind of wanted, I'm paraphrasing, you wanted to believe that I had a wife in there, but you never checked. They had to really think about the conversations before. They already knew that they were in trouble. And this is the part, it was around this part, I was like, I'll mess with this movie because there was a sense of realism in how the characters behaved. Like, parts of the conversation, Barnes was like, no, not Barnes, Paxton was like, yo, we probably need to get out of here.
Yes.
And they even made up lies about it. He called them out. But they weren't stupid. Like, when when he was like, "Oh yeah, my wife back here in this dark ass hallway," they didn't want to go. She was like, yeah, give us a second.
Well, the
We'll
one
be
was
right
about
back."
to.
Yes.
Yeah, but
She pulled her ass like,
yeah,
Right, what
exactly.
are you doing?
But I
Yeah.
love that because she was naive to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Right? We kind of, at least I gathered, is that she was just the one that believed what was being told, but she also had questions about certain things as well because she did a lot of the talking. But when she pulled her, it was like, nah, this ain't right.
Yeah.
We need to get out of here. Mike, the funniest part, she was like, "You think you can get through that window?"
That was funny. And she just looked at her like, bitch, like,
That's crazy. But I love that because they were like, "This is dangerous. We need to get out of here." But what made the movies great is that they were forced to go back there because of what he did by locking the door. Bro, like that, I love the sense of realism, like, and not just being stupid for the stupid sake.
Right, but I also, again, like, I'm not all the way on that side yet because, like you said, they were lying. Like, why not just tell the truth? Like, yo, we don't feel safe here, whatever, we would like to leave now.
They were,
Instead, you made up a lie that you call your elderly and
which
all
you called
that.
them out on, yeah.
Yeah.
elderly.
What is it called?
Elder.
Elder. Your elder.
But which I agree to that, but yeah, you're right. He called him out on that, but he was lying the whole time. He kept telling him, "You can leave if you want to."
And typically, if a woman is in that type of space, they can't just go, "Hey, man,
Yeah, that's true.
we're feeling hella uncomfortable. Can we just leave?"
I thought about it after I said it.
Yeah.
So, you gotta tread lightly.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they, he picked it up, but he was reassuring. You're fine. You can leave when you want to. I'm not forcing you to stay here. Even the
Which was a
conversation
lot.
about the locked doors, Mike. She was like, yeah, but the door is locked. And then I think it was she was like, it's kind of unusual for a door to be locked.
Yeah, to be on a timer.
Right.
You can't open it. That's kind of weird.
Yes.
I love the
love that.
dialogue. It's
Yeah,
just
it was so
like,
good.
yeah,
It was so good.
That's
yeah.
how you write. You write real. Like that's a real situation. Like,
Yes.
yo, no, that's weird. Like,
Yeah, why
do
the fuck is
why-
there
Yeah,
Why is
timer
there a
on the
lock
door?
timer on the door?
It's like, you got me.
Right.
Like,
Oh man.
I
That
know it looks
was-
weird. I know, like, older man, two younger women. Like, because we all are thinking that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they write it. That's all you got to fucking do when you write,
I
man.
agree. Now that you point that out, that was one of the best parts. It wasn't a lot of movie moments. It was like you were sitting in a real room.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
This was
conversation.
actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was one of the
That's
best
a really
parts
good
about it.
point, too,
Yep.
Spike. I mean, this isn't taking place in nowhere else. This is in one house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's amazing, bro, to be able to shoot something like this in one space. Like, yeah.
So, trying to think who I want to start with this one. I guess I'll start with Spike. Spike, what did you think of the conversation that was revolving around the iterations and the interpretations in religion, and how they compared that to "The Air That I Breathe" by the Hollies versus "Creep" by Radiohead? Since you are now the crowning whitest black man here, since you've taken my role, I assume you've heard
Not
"Creep."
I ain't never heard those.
Oh, you've never
Not for music. It's
You've
just,
never
it's just
heard
TV shows.
Creep?
You never heard Creep?
It's just TV shows.
You've heard it.
Everybody's heard "Creep." I was
Yeah.
like
How does it
jabbing
go?
at him, but I thought everybody's
He
heard
probably heard
Creep.
it by accident.
Yeah, how
Wait,
does it go?
Because I'm a creep, I'm a loser.
I ain't never heard that.
Yes,
Maybe
you
on one
have.
a white
you've
TV show.
heard
that I
it. You
watched.
just don't know it.
Yeah.
Have
He
you
ain't
heard "The
singing
Air
it
That I
right.
Breathe"?
He ain't singing it.
Nah.
I was. I thought it was pretty good.
You were kind of close. You were close,
sing it
though.
then.
I don't know.
You
I'm not.
sing it.
I'm not. Look, I'm just here to judge. I'm not here to.
I'm not here to participate.
I mean, once you got into it, you were on point. I heard it. I heard the melody. It was.
It was
I'm gonna
good
play
there.
it.
Okay, Kim found it.
There's no way.
I never heard that.
Spike.
I have never heard that before.
That's funny.
No way,
Has it been
man.
in a movie?
What
I'm
the
sure it's been
hell
in a
I
movie.
do? And he plays it.
Yeah.
Mr. Reed plays it.
No,
That's
he's in a movie. He's in a movie.
Oh,
outside of that.
Bro, this is like one of the most popular
It
songs
is.
of all time that
This
black
song
and
was
white
huge.
people
What was
know
it?
this.
Creep?
Well, he doesn't play that one. He just plays the one that they
He started
No,
singing
he
on top.
plays
No, I think he
Creep.
did.
He-
I
he
think he was
plays
singing
his
on
own
top of it though.
interpretation.
Yeah,
Yes.
that went over my head because
Yeah.
I hadn't heard those songs.
Wait, say that again.
He plays his own interpretation of it. Yeah.
He was playing what they plagiarized.
No,
The
he
song,
played.
the
Yes, he
older
played
song.
"The Air That I Breathe," but when they're
Yeah,
in
That
the
I Breathe.
basement, he's playing "Creep."
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That went over my head.
Oh man. So I've heard both of those songs a million times. I never ever picked up that the melody was similar.
That's crazy.
Neither did I when he was
At
playing
all.
the hot until he said it.
Yeah, until he said it.
I was like, wait a
like,
minute.
wait, that
I was
sounds
like
like
that. I was like the wire me.
Yeah,
yeah.
me too. I was like, oh,
Weebay.
Bro, I was like, there's no way he's right until he played it.
Yep.
I knew it was leading up to something like that. I said
That was crazy.
He's playing that music because he's gonna tie it to somebody that like that made it after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
that, but I never ever realized that Creep sounded like that.
And then somebody else after them did it.
I think he said Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del
Yep,
Rey,
yep,
and then
yep.
they,
And then,
Yeah.
and then they sued
Right,
her.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like these interpretations. Well, I was asking Spike what he thought, but I'm just telling
Tell
him.
me, yeah.
Well, he don't know. He don't know the song. He don't have a reference.
Yeah.
He's like making a point that like, here's the original. Then the next group plagiarizes it, and then when this group plagiarizes it, the
They sue.
plagiarizer gets upset.
Even though they stole it. From
Even though
somebody.
they took it from somebody else. And they're always claiming that we're the ones who made this. But then the next person, they're like, nah. You can't do that.
And that, he was comparing it to the different religions.
I give you
Yes.
as you should know this one. Robin Thicke, Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basically what.
yes.
Yeah, that's what
yes.
it is. That's what they were talking about.
Okay.
You know those.
Yeah, I know those.
And then when he's even going further into it, when he's talking about the board game,
Bruh.
which I had never heard of the landlord's game.
Yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
Monopoly.
I had to look it up. And it was
That's
true.
Wow. Yeah.
That there is a landlord's game, and Monopoly bit off of the
that.
landlord's game.
It's crazy.
And then when he threw the other types of monopolies on board, too.
That's great. But it was the
But yeah,
It
the
made
rel-
the point hit home even better when he brought
Yeah.
the games and stuff up for me.
But when he started talking about the religions and how certain religions took their ideas from previous religions, I was like, okay, I knew that, but it's interesting that this is in this movie. And then when he threw in the Star Wars shit and he made
Oh,
the point,
yeah.
he's like, in 1,000 years, people are gonna look back and be like, Jar Jar,
Jar Jar
was an
Binks.
important character.
You know Jar
And
Jar.
it sounds funny at first until you think about it.
Yeah.
If people have lost what came before Star Wars, they're gonna assume that Star Wars came up with this whole virgin birth shit. Now this was weird though. Do y'all have y'all ever looked up like Egyptian religions and you know who
I've
Horus
heard about it in
is?
the movie. Yeah, Horus is.
oh
like-
yeah, Horse, yeah.
But he said that Horus, the story was similar to Jesus in that Horus was crucified. Didn't he say that?
If he didn't say that, I think I feel like I heard that.
Because that's not true.
I feel like I heard that because when he was going through his whole speech, I was like, okay, I gotta go look some of this stuff up because he was saying stuff. I was like, wait a minute, is that real? And I think that was one of them because I
It
don't.
was. Horus is the one with the bird head.
Had the long. Yeah,
But
I heard
Horus's
the-
mother wasn't
yeah.
a virgin either. It was another god, Isis. So I was confused by that. So I was wondering if I missed something that y'all picked up.
At least I didn't pick anything
didn't pick
up.
it up
So
Was
I
that one of the
always-
things that dark haired girl Barnes called him out on?
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, look at the guy. He has a fucking bird head.
Yeah.
which I love that too.
Yes.
He was like, yeah,
That's real.
Yeah, you sitting schooling and lecturing me about all this shit, and like, bro, you
But what
pointed
you
to
failed to-
this. What are you
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
And my shit is fucked up. Like what? Come on.
The only thing that I could think of to excuse this part being wrong, and this is probably a reach, but I wrote down the fact that Reed believes this goes along with his point of people believing shit through word of mouth and reciting it to other people. Because
So he's doing the same thing.
He's doing the same
Yeah.
thing. Horus was killed and was resurrected, but his mother wasn't a virgin, or there wasn't like a human virgin birth, and he wasn't crucified from anything that I've ever seen. So anybody listening, if y'all know different, definitely let me know. But I don't know that Horus was ever crucified. But if he got that wrong, it might have been intentional. Because he's like, I'm already telling y'all how your religion is flawed because it took from other shit. I'm going to throw in this bullshit point because you're not going to fucking know any better because you're not going to go look it up. You're going to believe me. So that's what I'm assuming. But so the next part, he gives him a choice of doors, belief and disbelief. And Paxton's ready to be out. So she's like, fuck all this shit. Let's just pretend to go through the disbelief door so we can leave.
So we could leave.
But Barnes, like y'all said, is very red, and she pushes back, and she's like, "No, let's go through the actual belief door." And this takes them down into a cellar. Rod, what did you think of the whole thing with the lady prophet and the pie?
I was just like, oh, this is getting interesting. Where is this going? Is it about to be some supernatural stuff happen? That's because A24 could be
Yeah.
At some
yeah.
point, they'll throw in some supernatural stuff. I'm like, okay, is this the point they're gonna throw in some supernatural stuff? So I was still a little just waiting to see what happens. But there was a lot of intrigue here, and yeah, I just didn't. That shit was spooky to see that motherfucker walk down there. I was like, what the hell is going on or whatever? Like, does this motherfucker really have somebody that was a prophet? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Mm-hmm. So yeah, at this point, I'm really believing like what he's selling. You know.
Man, the whole setup to this, from him writing it on the door to her opening the door, and I think a tear dropped down her eye, because that's what she was like. We are
She thought that was gonna be
fucked.
Yep.
She was like, we're being studied. Or something
Yes,
like that, she said.
yes, calling it out.
Yeah.
I love what I feel like is the realism of Barnes' decision to go through the disbelief door. Did I get their name right?
No, Barnes.
God damn it.
Paxton wanted to go through the disbelief
Paxton.
door.
Yeah.
Because she was like, he wants us to be disbelievers, so let's just go through this door.
Yeah,
so we
I
leave.
love that, because you can really see a person make that decision. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're being set up, so let's just go through here. We'll still, you know, have our faith. And
Exactly.
But and just the fact that both of them were on like the opposite side. So you go back to the conversation in the beginning where one is and Barnes is like, no, I have faith.
Yeah.
I'm going through this belief door.
Yeah.
Because I believe I will be protected.
Exactly.
And the other one's like, okay, well, you know what, we're just gonna play along so I can live. She didn't have faith. You know, so but they both led to the same path. Which was even, bro, I was just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. So I love that whole setup. And again, him saying over and over again, you can leave, but you can go down there, and that's the way to exit. I don't know if he ever said this is the way to get outside my house. He just said this
I
is.
think he did.
He said there's a back door.
Yeah, he said go out the back door, and that will lead to the back of the house, and you can leave.
I think that, but was there ever a back door?
No, there is no back door.
Yeah, man, crazy.
No, there is a back door. It's just it hangs off a cliff.
What?
Well, we ain't got there yet, but what a women were, that's what the back door was.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh yeah, that's a back door.
And I think he said something about a cliff. But anyway,
I missed that whole part.
Yeah, he did
I
say
didn't.
something
I
about
didn't
the
see a
cliff.
door or a cliff.
Yeah, because they showed the back door when it was storming outside. Yeah.
I missed that.
oh
Okay.
yeah, I missed it too. Yeah,
Interesting.
but nah, this was really good, and it was set up really, really nice by everything that he was saying with this whole speech.
Yeah, this part was really intriguing, and I agree with you, man. Like, yeah, this was like, yo, this is what is happening. Like, yeah, it was compelling, man.
I agree. I think that was one of the most compelling parts of the movie, and it, like you said, Ken, it kind of goes to like sometimes how religious and non-religious people are. Like, I'm just gonna tell you what you want to hear, so I can get out of here. Like, if you go to church or something like it. Like, okay, cool, here got my money, I'm leaving. But they both led to the same path, and it didn't matter what they believed or not. So I thought that was dope.
There was one small detail that I wanted to see if anybody noticed besides me. When she was looking through that little hole when they were in the basement, when he was singing "Creep," when Paxton's looking through that little hole, did y'all notice that spider?
Yeah.
Did you notice it was a white spider?
Yeah.
Did you notice a spider later in the movie?
No.
The spider lands on the prophet's arm after she eats the pie. If you watch, there's a little spider that comes down and lands on her arm.
I didn't see that.
And I wrote it down because I was like, okay, white spider has to mean something. And why is it landing on her arm? Now, here's the thing. Just like you were saying that A24 can get, supernatural sometimes, I wasn't getting anything supernatural yet. So even looking back on this, I'm confused. But when I Googled white spider, it says in Christianity, white spiders have unique interpretations. They symbolize purity and the answering of prayers. The white color signifies innocence and divine intervention. So I'm still confused as to what point they were making by having the spider coming out of that hole and then later on landing on the prophet's arm after she eats the pie.
Who was looking in the hole? Was it?
Paxton was.
Paxton was
'Cause
looking in the
it
hole and the
started her.
spider jumps out.
Yeah,
Yep, and she jumps.
Yeah.
And if you're looking close, it was a white spider.
Yeah.
So I don't really get it. So Reddit, help me out here. What does that part mean? Because I'm lost. But all right. So yeah. So during this time, I think we kind of already talked about this. But the elder comes looking for him, and they're trying to light a fire to signal to him, and that's when we see that the prophet was resurrected. Rod, what did you think of that part when the prophet was behind the woman, behind Paxton's head?
That shit was
Talking.
creepy as hell.
Did you think that she was resurrected?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I absolutely did. They got me with that. So, I mean, I had no reason to believe it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't
That's the
show
point.
anything else. So, I thought that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool that she noticed that she moves or whatever when they walk past. But yeah, I like that part.
It was slick because the movement can be interpreted as as part of the resurrection, like it's starting to slowly wake up.
Yep.
I was kind of with well, I don't know if Paxton believed it or not in that moment, but when she was like, "It's not real," and whispered, I was like, I wonder if she telling her that this whole shit is like manufactured. Because I was like, there's no way this person woke back up and was resurrected. There has to be some kind of trick here. I just didn't know what the trick was.
Right.
So I wasn't believing that there was a resurrection. I was waiting for them to prove to me that there was a resurrection that really happened. I just didn't know how he did this fucking shit because everything happened so fast. And the way they did this whole scene when it got to the reveal later, it was a good misdirection with it was a good misdirection.
It absolutely was good misdirection. Because when you think about it, it's like, yeah, that would have been a good prime time for this shit to.
But you can't plan that though.
You can't plan it.
He can't plan it because how did he know that the elder was going to show up and ring the door?
Right.
He at some point they would have to be distracted enough.
And I feel like he would have in
How?
a different way. I don't know. He probably would have been talking to him, told him to look this way or something. Or
Oh, you mean he would have distracted him a different way? Yes,
way.
I agree with that
Yes,
part.
yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think he was maybe counting on. I don't know if he's counting on them looking through the hole longer. I don't know, but yeah, he would have just distracted them in some other way that made them keep looking.
Yeah.
But Spike, so they come up with this plan to cut Reed's throat when Barnes says magic underwear, which references the part that happened earlier with Paxton. Reed comes back in the basement, and what did you think about how this whole plan worked out?
Terrible. Terrible was the biggest word that I thought of. I thought they were going to get themselves killed, like in a sense of it just wasn't a good plan. And I just didn't like it. I didn't like that. I didn't like it.
Really?
I didn't.
I thought it was a good plan. Kill this
I did
motherfucker.
too.
Shit.
I thought it was a good
seemed
plan, but
kinda
I knew it
hokey.
wasn't going to
seemed
work
like
just
hokey,
off movie
like
shit.
it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but that's movie shit. It couldn't
I guess
work.
that's why I leaned that way.
But I thought it was a good plan.
The
Though.
movie
Yeah, it
would've
was a
been
good plan because he's not gonna know what the fuck magic underwear is.
And then they gave it to the right person. Because that person was like, I don't know if I want to do this because,
That's
I'm
why I
killing
kind of
somebody.
felt it didn't work. Like I knew she wouldn't go through with it, or she couldn't go through with it. I didn't see.
Nah, she was
at
about
that
to do
point.
it, bro.
She was
Think
about
so?
to do it. Yeah, and I think the plan was a good plan because Barnes was right.
Maybe I was
He's gonna
looking
be
at
looking
it
at her.
with movie skepticism versus being in the world. So
You're right. You're right, Mike. Yeah. She was the unsuspecting person. And it was set up brilliantly,
y'all,
Spike.
yes.
y'all are convincing me now.
She was
but
behind her.
I was-
behind
yeah,
Reed.
Behind Reed.
No,
I was looking at
if
it
she
more
went
with
through it, it
movie.
would have worked.
Yeah.
If she went through with it,
Reed just beat him to it.
but Reed beat him to it.
Man, that shit was crazy.
So you didn't expect that either? 'Cause I was
No,
like,
I didn't.
I did not because, like I said, I'm still feeling like he's just experimenting on him. Not saying it's great. Not saying that it makes him a good person. Or anything.
yeah.
He's just not like a killer,
Right.
Or whatever, right? It's like okay, he fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna come out on the end of this like enlightened or something. And it was just like I'm not a villain. I'm just trying to teach you
I just had
another
a message.
a message or whatever. So that's what I was still thinking of him until that moment. I was like, oh hell no, this motherfucker crazy.
Here's what I thought. I thought, because it happened so fast and we didn't see it, that I thought Paxton killed Barnes.
Oh really?
I can see why that. I
Yep.
can see why you would think that because
I
you
was-
didn't see Reed's arm move.
Nope. I was like, wait, did Paxton do that? And why?
Why? Yeah, that why?
That was the question until they showed that it was the box cutter. But that was the immediate thing that went through my head. Because I think, because it made it almost was like she was starting to believe in the resurrection. Because she was talking to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's not real. So again, what's not real?
Yeah.
This whole thing that's going on here or heaven?
Right. Right. Nah,
So-
yeah, I thought that was a really good moment. I mean, not a good moment, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
It
Well
was
done.
done.
It
It
was
was
definitely
done
shot.
well. It was done really well, especially the cutting and the editing.
That part I did not expect.
Yeah.
When he slit Barnes' throat, I was like, oh shit.
And he was like laughing and
what?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
blood
like,
all over his
this-
face. Yeah, it's
But now, why did he tell Paxton that Barnes will be resurrected? And what was the deal with the implant? I'll ask you this one, Spike. What did you get from this?
To deal with the implant.
Do you remember the implant?
I don't.
After he kills Barnes, he says that she's going to be resurrected.
Right.
So don't worry about it. She's dead, but she's going to come back.
Like she's going to come back.
Then he pulls up her arm and he cuts her arm open and he pulls out like a little thing in her arm and he says, "This is an implant. This entire thing is a simulation. She's not real." What was the point of that?
That's a good question.
That's in the Bible too, like that people have chips in their arm, in their arms and shit.
I was confused.
Really?
I thought so. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Don't get me the line.
I mean, you're the only one that can say this because
you're the only one read that I am when it comes to that stuff. But I'm yeah, I thought that was part of. I forgot what book that is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was confused at that point.
I think that when Paxton explained everything, I think her explanation at the end helps sort of explain this part. He saw the implant during the conversation because they cut to it.
Yep. Yep.
He knew it was there, and I think this was when he started improving. He knew good and damn well she wasn't going to resurrect because there's a controlled experiment, and then this was outside of that. I think that this was an opportunity to, once his shit started fucking up, this was him trying to get control of the experiment and using the implant to throw Paxton off by saying, "Oh, well, this is why it didn't work." Because in his mind, for all he knows right now, that she believes it. This woman died. This woman was resurrected. And so but something went astray. So in order to get them back on script, he had to do it again and do it with her. But when she was going to be resurrected, he had to come up with an excuse why. And it was like, oh, she wasn't pure.
This is fake.
And because she had the implant in it. So she wasn't walking by faith as much as we all made it seem, or she was making it seem to be.
Did y'all believe that?
Believe what?
That she was like programmed?
I didn't know. I was just riding with the movie at that point because I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on because when Paxton was like, well, no, I think that's birth control. I was like, why the fuck? Why would birth control be in your arm? Is that usually where they put them? Really?
Yeah, those things are real. Yeah.
And then even that part, he's like, oh, that's a vein. He's like, oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
I meant to look it up after the movie, and I forgot until just now when I looked at my notes. Yeah, I didn't know that implants are put up in their arm.
I didn't know that either.
Because, like, how are you blocking? The only thing you blocking is a hand job. How are you blocking a...
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, she has birth control. Now, I don't know if that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, because I was going to ask y'all that because I thought he was just lying, and I was like, why does she think that that's an implant? But... all right, that makes sense then. But yeah, I think he was just testing her faith. Like, you know, saying the role in the simulation, he can tell that Barnes doesn't really believe it, but he just kind of wants to see how far he can push this whole thing. But Rod, what'd you think about the conversation about butterflies?
Oh shit, I don't remember the conversation about butterflies.
He was talking about the Taoist concept of the butterfly dream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because he was like, you confusing that with butterfly effects.
Yes, that was funny. That was really... God, Hugh Grant was so good.
Yo, he was killing it, bro.
Oh, when he wrote everybody's name on the board, on the table, he was like, this Barnes, but she out of here. Don't worry about her. I can't remember exactly what he said. That shit was cold, bro.
Yo, he did so good in this.
But
But yeah, he was talking about the whole concept of the butterfly dream where this Chinese philosopher, he's discussing that he can't really discern if he thinks he's a man having a dream about a butterfly, but he's not sure if maybe he might be just a butterfly having a dream about a man or having a dream that he is a man or whatever, which also relates to earlier when Paxton was talking about if she dies, she wants to come back as a butterfly and land on her loved one's hand. So I forgot who I was asking. I think it was Rod. But Rod, if you didn't get anything, I was going to see if Spike got anything from that.
I did want to address the microchip thing.
Yeah, I just looked. I didn't see anything.
So they said there's no correlation whatsoever. The authors, but again, here we go. People telling you shit. You know what I'm saying? See, again, like people tell you, and that probably has something to do with you. Like, you see what I'm saying? So, says that It said no correlation. The authors and audience of the Bible had no concept of microchips.
Right.
It said now a lot of people believe that the revelation of John contains a prophecy wherein everyone who wants to buy or sell will need to get the mark of the beast on their right hand and on their forehead. So, I mean, that could have been considered like the mark of the beast or something like that. Like, and then you correlate that with a microchip or something like that. Because I've heard that. I've heard people say that. Like,
I've heard the mark of the beast before.
Yeah, I never heard the microchip part. But yeah, I took it as, you know, if you look up what butterflies are symbols of, it's always resurrection. You know, caterpillar essentially dies and comes back as a butterfly. So that's how I took that part. But so yeah, in this part, Barnes figures out that there's a door under the table and figures out that this is all a trick. And she kind of has to go into the cellar to see if there's a dead body to verify if what she thinks is a trick is actually a trick. She goes down there. She sees that there is, in fact, a dead body, and Reed locks her in there. So she wanders around in the tunnels, and she comes upon this room full of women in cages. Ken, what did you think was going on?
I wasn't well, they were definitely part of the experiment, so it was proof that what Paxton was saying was true. I was trying to figure out how the hell all these women get locked in these cages, and I mean, I would assume people are looking for them, but are they there as part of another religious faction that goes there trying to recruit people to their religion? So what are their faith that are there? And were they there by choice is the other thing. So were they willing parts of the experiment? And I would suspect that they are, but one of the person that kind of went off script, as she said, was like she had enough. And that's why she was like, yeah, that shit ain't real. So, but it definitely showed that this motherfucker been doing this shit this whole damn
That was
time.
my thought. Like, how long he been doing this? Yeah, he was like, he been having these people prisoners, and how did he get them there? Like, just the whole process of, he does this a lot.
But to him, they're not. They're saying they don't feel like they're prisoners.
Yeah.
I think these were other Mormons. That's how I took it. Like, he's just been basically like kidnapping these women because they were probably came there when they were Barnes and Paxton's age. But now they're like 30 or 40. If he's been feeding him these lies, at this point they've just come to, or he thought at least, they've come to believe it until the one went off script and was like, none of this is real.
But wouldn't somebody pick up on, like, the girls keep disappearing around this area, around this house?
I mean, now you're putting a little too much.
Oh, okay.
I did ask that question.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm glad they explained the bike situation because I was confused as fuck. I'm like, how do you not see the bikes in the front?
Well, once he walked out and the bike was, because I mean, the bike was right out front. I was like, oh, he had to have hit the bike.
But at what
Showing
point?
how and when, though.
Oh yeah, they kind of
like
explained
when he
to us.
recapped.
Yeah,
I like how he recapped everything. Like, this is what was.
I needed those
that
answers.
Was, yeah,
I
all
was
of that
really,
I needed.
I did. I was like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
well,
I
even
all of that.
and also we found out that he fucked up because he put the key in the wrong pocket
Yes.
too. So they kind of so he wasn't doing as good of a job as he used to. And maybe he only got I think they go. Do they go out in Paris like that?
Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Yeah. Mormons typically show up in Paris. Are they Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses? Those are Mormons, right? Latter-day Saints. Yeah, that's Mormons.
The ones that ride the bike.
Yeah, aren't those
the white
Mormons?
shirts. Yeah.
Okay.
What are Jehovah's Witnesses? What is their church called?
What is it called?
Is it not Latter-day Saints?
Nah, what is that?
Yeah,
called?
they're definitely Mormons because he was talking about the Book of Mormon and the main guy from the Mormon religion or whatever that made up a bunch of shit about polygamy and whatnot.
Which would explain why, because he would have to kill. So he would have to replace him. He would have to kill one, and So and that's how he ended up replacing them with the experiment. It was interesting that when they first walked into the room, they were looking up, not down. And if they would have looked down, they could have saw all the water going through the doorway.
Right.
I thought about that too.
Right.
Jehovah's Witnesses church is called Kingdom Hall.
Kingdom Hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to see them all the time.
Yep. Rod, since you're talking, what is the one true religion?
Control is what he said, right?
Is what he said.
Don't be trying to get me caught up.
I'm just asking questions, man. I'm like Reed.
You gonna say Rob?
I'm like Reed. I'm just asking questions.
What he said was control.
Okay. And what'd you take from that?
And he had some good points or whatever. Like I said, he was very, very convincing. I think he might have actually convinced her at some point.
I thought you were about to say him.
Yeah. No.
He almost convinced me.
Nah.
But he was like, nah, he almost convinced her.
I'm not saying that there's no validity to that now. I'm not saying there's not any
10
validity
toes
to
down.
control. I have my own faith, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that there absolutely is control over there. So I don't think he's off the mark with that. And I don't, that was the one true religion. So I thought that the build up to that moment was dope. They did a lot of dialogue that supported that throughout this movie, and I'm like, man, they nailed that. Oh, they nailed that. They brought it home for real.
You agree with that, Spike?
Yeah, I do. I thought he was gonna say death though. I thought he was gonna go Game of Thrones. Only what you call it, but I do agree with the control and the whole speech that he gave around it was just everything lined up. Once they started revealing the answers, it was like, oh, so
Everybody wants control.
Yeah, and I think how this thing just completely got away from him because he put the key in the wrong pocket and the elder came and stuff like that. When he asked the question and then it paused, I said choice. I didn't say control. Which, is applicable in its own way.
Choice.
Huh?
I said it ain't choice because they do that. Usually religion gets slaves.
Yeah.
It
But
wasn't no choice. It was.
I know. I was just trying to guess what I was trying to.
He was on his Kanye shit. He's like,
trying
slave
to,
was a choice.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like all y'all here. It's not like y'all want to be here.
No, I was trying to guess what he was gonna say, and I was like choice. But we've said on Is the Mic Still On? But I know I've said it that if you want to control a group of people, religion is the way to do it, right? And to a certain degree, they all chose to be there because they believe what he was saying. And they decided to go along with the experiment as well.
To the point of being locked up in cages, though.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and
I guess it's like slavery.
But he was
Y'all better stop.
And I guess he was so Mike, was he giving her the illusion of control by having her walk all the way through to that final point? I guess my question is, every single person that was in that cage eventually ended up in that room. Is that what he was alluding to?
Yes, and he was making it seem like so the point he was making is that yes, the one true religion is control, and everything that fed from that is an interpretation or an iteration. The original point was to control people. They created these rules and regulations. That probably wasn't enough, so they put it in the mouth of a god and said, okay, well, the god said that you have to follow these rules, so they did. But what he was implying in this moment was that you think you're in this room because you chose to be here. You're only in this room because of all the things that I told you that led you to choose to be in this room. So it's this whole idea of like free will. Like, how much free will do you really have if you're also required to do these things that God is telling you to do? Free will only goes so far. So that's how I took it, because he was like, him having a wife, the idea of him having a wife who's cooking blueberry pie, that was easy to make them believe because it makes sense. I just told you that, but you didn't see any of it with your own eyes. So for all you know, I'm here with an axe. I'm here with a gun. There's another motherfucker behind the door. None of this did you say, oh, I need to verify. You just believed it. So that's the point that I think he was trying to make in this moment.
And that something that made me think about the other the other thing that happened early on when he was just like he said, do you believe in polygamy? Or whatever, and then he just like, then y'all change it to make it fit your, to make it right or whatever. So I thought that was an interesting point that he made up. And then I think somebody was. Oh yeah, Barnes was defending it and saying like it's not like that anymore, but they
Right.
felt like it needed to be like that way
At
to
the time, to increase numbers.
of
Which
humanity.
that shit made sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I like how when we were talking about Taco Bell, and she's like, yeah, we don't talk about Taco Bell. Well, if we talked about Taco Bell, that we end up talking about Taco Bell.
What was the reason when she said she ended up telling them like, yo, this is why we don't talk about Taco
I
Bell?
thought it was because it gave him. I interpreted it as like it gave him the shits or something. I don't remember what she said, but that's what I assumed.
Yeah, because it was a lead up to the stab, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was something else
remember.
that
I
had to do. I thought it applied to Barnes' life, personal life, though.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But I can't remember what it was.
yeah,
Can't remember the story.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
Yeah.
so while they're discussing this whole thing about the one true religion, he's telling her how the church dictates every single thing about her life, even down to her magic underwear. And in this moment, she stabs him in the neck. Spike, did you see this coming?
Did not see this coming. It was one of those like you did earlier, like, oh shit moments. So yeah, I did not see this coming, and it was done very well.
Damn, you forgot she still had the thing?
I did.
I did.
Yeah.
I forgot.
You did too?
I forgot she had it.
I didn't. I saw this one coming.
Mm.
This one I did see coming. I knew she was gonna stab him.
My thing was like, dang, you didn't. Well, yeah. You didn't cut deep enough, bro. Like, you didn't stab
Got
hard.
turned or something.
I would think that would take a motherfucker out, but
I
did
did
it
too.
was straight through his neck.
Yeah, that was just
don't know
the
how he
one
was
little
living after that.
thing
Because
I
you
had
can't,
about
if you
this
go
movie.
through that, you can't breathe anymore because you're gonna have a hole in your.
So he should have died, or he would choke on his own blood.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, he should have died.
but-
Especially to get all the way back upstairs.
Man,
Like, cause then she went through a lot of doors.
She did,
Yeah.
and a ladder. I
Yeah.
want to say.
Blood pumping, nah, bro.
He should have been gone.
Well, she tries to find a way out, but eventually lands back in that room with the prophet and all that. And Reed ends up stabbing her in the stomach. What did you think about the conversation they had about prayer, Rod?
Oh, I thought that was interesting because she was just like, prayer isn't real. Didn't she say that?
It said prayer does not work,
Prayer does not work.
and she gives an
And then she
experiment.
give an
She gives an experiment that,
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
that was made.
Yeah. She talks about the experiment. So I thought that was crushing to me to hear that. I was like, you lie. You was a lie.
I know prayer works.
The devil is a lie.
was that
Prayer
based on a true
works.
story? That
Yeah.
experiment that she was
There's
talking
been
about?
multiple experiments.
Yeah.
On this.
That's what I was wondering when she said.
Yeah, but I think that leads to my overall point at the end. I'll get to. But yeah, I could see why one would think prayer doesn't work.
Yes, it would think.
Yeah.
Well, do you think it can?
I
What did you think about this scene?
I love this part because it seemed like he was giving in to prayer when he was climbing up to her, crawling towards her,
Yeah.
and climbing up to her, and the way he held her hand.
He was like sobbing.
Yep.
Yeah, but he was actually still coming to kill her. So yeah, prayer wasn't working then, or maybe it did. But I
yeah.
love the way they set that up. Because I was like, oh shit, he about to slice her throat.
Yeah.
But we talking about the whole thing.
We can get there. Just when Reed was about to kill her, Paxton bashes him in the head with the wooden 2x4. So, Ken, you want to talk about it? What was happening here? What was the deal?
One, could we infer that was supposed to be a resurrection? There's that. But my thing is, because she shouldn't have been alive either. No. But this is what I wanted to ask you guys, because I saw her move after he said she was dead.
Oh, I didn't. I missed
Yeah,
it.
it looked like she moved, or maybe my eyes were playing
Yeah, I
tricks
think
on her.
your eyes playing
Because
tricks.
she was like, oh, well, she's dead. And I'm like, and I felt like I saw something move. I got to go back and rewatch it. But I was like, oh, that motherfucker ain't dead. She going to come back.
Huh.
So when they still did a really great job with it. But because I think I saw a movement,
Okay.
I had a feeling that she was going to save her at the end of the day. But it was very dramatic, and it was very, very well done.
Okay.
But I had to ask the same question I asked about him. How the hell is that motherfucker still alive? Was she sitting there just holding her throat and shit? Because apparently that shit don't work. We've never seen that shit work in a movie. And then it cut her arm, so she should have been bleeding out from there.
Yeah.
So I love how they just kind of left that there because, again, was she resurrected and was her faith restored, or did she ever lose faith?
I think she was kind of losing it. like to be in that situation. I think she was losing faith. I think, which is part of the reason why she was so shocked when it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought resurrection too. I was in the same boat as you. I thought she had resurrected us. I'm like, oh shit.
She died right away though.
Oh, y'all saying that y'all don't think she resurrected? That's y'all interpretation?
Nah, I don't. That's the first thing that I thought. I was like, oh shit.
Well, I do have some other questions, which I think we'll get to.
Okay. Spike, did you notice what was the significance of, I feel like I'm leading the witness, but what was the significance of what she hit him with?
The 2x4, like a cross.
Did you pick up on what else was in the 2x4?
Nails.
Oh, like him being nailed to the cross. Interesting.
And they made a point to earlier.
Yeah.
So
Look at God. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
We're not sure. But this leads us to the end of the movie. After he gets bashed in the head, Barnes makes it out of the house, and she's bloodied up, and she's, walking through the snow, mind you.
Yes.
Good
point.
And she sees a butterfly that lands on her hand, and then it vanishes. So, Rod, what happened here?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of questioning of faith, religion, belief, all of that. A lot of like making you question yourself, which I think a lot of people do at some point in their lives. And I think in the beginning of the movie, they actually was saying like, have you ever had that moment to make you, feel like God is real? Has he ever shown you or whatever? I can't remember who was asking who that question. But
probably was Patsy because she was talking a lot.
Yeah, but I think this is that moment, that true moment where, something that she put out there with the butterfly, because she said she would want to be resurrected as a butterfly and then land on the person's finger to let them know that they were there for them, to let them know that it's her. Yeah. So the fact that happened,
she said that and it happened.
Yeah, it said that and it happened. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think. I feel like she still think God is real at the end, and then all of that is real.
So it's just like a miracle.
Yeah, I think it was a miracle for her, and it was a sign from God from her, even through all the questioning, all the doubts, because I do think at some point she was doubting, and I think it was reassurance for her at that moment. I think the resurrection thing was assuring after she prayed and that happened, and I think the butterfly sealed the deal for her. So that was why I overall enjoyed the movie. I think if it would have ended for me, and I don't know if y'all interpreted it the same way, but if it would have ended differently for me, I think I would have been like, I don't know if I like this shit. But the fact that it ended like that is another reason why I really enjoyed it. Because people, that's a real thing. People question religion. It's so many different things out there, so much corruption that can make someone believe that. And it is what it is. That's life. And that's why me personally, I just keep faith. I really stand on faith, because if I get too wrapped up in all of that stuff, like you can get lost. And then he said, because he made a point about that. He said, I've done so much research that it doesn't even matter that I did the research or something like that. He said, I don't remember his direct quote. He's like, I know so much to where I don't know nothing at all. Or something. You can know something so much of something to the point where you just don't even know shit.
Yeah, you get tunnel vision. You block out everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, too.
You get the same thing, Spike?
Yeah, I took that as reassurance for her. Like, because she said that the girl that died said that she wanted to do that and land on the hand of a loved one. No?
Paxton one that said that.
Oh, I thought the other girl said that.
She said that.
Yeah.
Now, the other girl noticed them. I think it was a moth. I don't know if it was
it was a butterfly.
It was a butterfly?
In the house.
Yeah, in the house. She noticed that.
In the window.
Yeah.
Which was a 6-sided window.
What's that mean?
6.
Oh, shit. Here you go.
I don't know if that was purposeful. Huh? I don't know.
It probably was another 6 in here somewhere,
I'm sure there were.
There were 3 6s in here somewhere.
There was definitely 3 6s in here.
So, but I took it the same way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ken, you got the same impression from that?
I don't know if she's alive.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Well,
so she in heaven.
Yeah, we don't know if she really made it out alive. This woman that had her neck slit and her arm cut and basically should have bled out to death, resurrected after all this time, to hit this guy upside the head right when he was about to cut her. What if all of that never happened and she actually did get cut and just that was all that was imagined? And then that the butterfly coming down, landing on her arm or her hand is, you know, just her thinking she done made it to heaven, like escaping out of this place, this house could be like this hell, a labyrinth in a sense. Because I love how that model when she was climbing up and then they had the model
that
shot.
cut there
Yeah.
was amazing.
That
Oh
shit
my
was
God.
dope as fuck.
Man, I want to go back just to watch that cut. Like man, that the way they cut that was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then she escaped out of that, which was all dark and stuff. We didn't see how she escaped. I don't think. And she just walking in snow. She had her phone, but she never called anybody. You know.
She did.
She
When
did.
when she threw the phone out, it still said no service.
Oh, okay.
So it was searching for service, and it finally made service.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Did it?
Yeah, you know how your phone be doing that?
No, I know,
That
but I
shit?
don't remember.
And then it
I
finally
don't-
got still, and then that means she had service at that point.
Then why didn't she call somebody? I don't remember seeing it connect.
Yeah, it connected at the because I was waiting for it to connect. I was like, it was still searching, and then it finally connected.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I I don't know. I think it could go. I don't know. It could probably go both ways.
No, I'm just saying, how did you interpret it though?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
right.
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I don't know if. I don't know if she got out of there, bro.
So yeah, so I had the same interpretation. So
As who?
as Ken. So we can go either way. So we can interpret that Barnes mustered up enough strength to wake up and kill Reed, and it was a miracle that worked. Kill Reed, and it was a miracle that worked in order to save Paxton so she could leave. Like I said, the whole thing about using the piece of wood with the nails on it, that was kind of, a little bit on the nose. And then the whole butterfly thing landing on the hand, that could have been Barnes visiting her before going off into the afterlife. So there's that theory. Then there's the second theory, which is when she's saying prayer doesn't work, but I think it's a beautiful idea that people are thinking about other people. And as she's praying, there's a theory that Reed may have, at least, I think Reed crawled up and actually did kill her, and she died in that house. It wasn't snowing when she went in the house. When she left, it was snowing hard. The prophet said something about in the afterlife there being like clouds, or like, I forget how she put it, but she made it seem like if you wanted to like stretch it, it could be described as snow. And then she also says that there's like an angel-like figure when she gets there. The angel-like figure could have been Barnes. Her leaving the house could have been seen as her transitioning into the afterlife. So that's why the butterfly lands on her hand, and when she looks over it vanishes.
Okay, that's but they did show that it was snowing. Earlier.
When? No, they didn't.
When the elder came.
No, it was raining. It wasn't snowing.
No, they showed like when they went outside, it was snowing. I was like, damn, snowing? Like it's storming like that?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. They were showing that it was snowing and it was like a bad storm. Yeah, they showed it at some point.
I thought it was rain.
It was.
but
I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
No,
it
it looked
raining.
like snow. It looked like
Because
snow.
When they were talking about how he went out and came back, his hair was wet.
Right. I think it did.
That
I
was-
think it was rain at first, but then at some point,
It
I thought it was.
transitioned to snowing.
I thought it was weird too when I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, when did it start snowing? But they showed it. Like it was one of those shots where they went. Matter of fact, it was snowing when they showed the back of the house.
But the back of the house, we don't know how real that is. But I don't think it was snowing when the elder came. I'm almost positive it was raining.
I don't understand why they would just randomly show outside and then the back.
Because
of the
they're
house.
making this whole point of we're not necessarily to believe every single thing that we're seeing. There's not a real person actually
Narrating the
there.
story?
Well, there's not a person narrating the story, and there's also not a person standing in the back of the house for us to see the back of the house through their perspective. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I don't think it was ever supposed to be from their perspective.
No, but that's my point. So if we're not seeing it through somebody else's eyes, so we see the elder show up and we see Reed talking to the elder, so we can walk away and say, okay, that happened. a random camera shot of the back of the house with some snow, I don't know if we're supposed to believe that, if that actually did happen or not.
I don't. Yeah, okay, I got you. I don't understand
again,
why you would do that, but yeah.
To fuck with the audience, maybe. I don't know. I don't know because I don't remember this shot. I definitely want to see this again.
It was like it happened twice, I think.
Yeah, it went outside the house.
It did, yeah. But I only remember rain. I don't remember snow.
Yeah, at one point it was snowing, and I think that was the moment because y'all say y'all don't remember the moment of the back of the house, but that's when it was
I
snowing.
know. I must have looked away or something.
No, I
was probably
remember
typing
there was
notes.
2 shots of the house because I was trying to look to see where this damn door came, but I just don't remember seeing the door.
Yeah,
Was this before or after the elder came?
this is
The shot of the
before.
house. Well, then it wouldn't make any sense because it was raining when the elder came. So why would it be raining and then it would go to snow, then it would go back to rain?
By the time the elder came, I thought it was snowing.
I'm pretty sure it was rain. I can't say because I'm not positive.
Yeah,
I need to see it again. I was actually typically when I do these, I like to I'll go to the theater and watch it. But then when I get home, if it's popped up on one of the free sites, I'll watch it again so I can make my notes. And it ain't popped up on anything, so I couldn't verify shit. But yeah, I definitely want to see it again, especially now that you're saying that there was another shot of snow because that kind of throws a monkey wrench in the
Theory.
part of the theory that I had. But yeah, I'm not stuck on either one. I could go that she did live and made it out. I could go that she really did die in that house and did not make it out, and this is her going to the afterlife. I can go with either one of those theories. But
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, to me, that because that would be like the only time they did that without explaining it,
Did what?
like a misdirection type of situation.
You think that's misdirection? Her
Yeah,
being
kinda.
alive or not alive?
Yeah,
Well, no, I don't
They were
think that's
just being vague.
Yeah, I think they're being vague. Absolutely, especially for an ending of a movie where the entire thing is based on interpretations and iterations. I think it's a perfect way to end this.
yeah. I'm not saying I would be out. Okay, let me take this back. So, I like the interpretation I came away with, but I wouldn't be mad at the one that y'all saying about the whole afterlife thing. It still shows afterlife, right? So at the end of the day, it's still something that you can kind of stand on or whatever. But so yeah, so I'm good with either one, honestly.
Yeah,
I would just wouldn't like if it was just like, yeah, God ain't real.
That's why I don't think it was necessary. Well, I mean, in
That's the way you can look at
one sense, it could still be God's not real.
Even in the afterlife one.
If in the afterlife one, yeah, that's us, having to push an interpretation of God is real. If she did get out, her seeing the little butterfly on her finger could absolutely just be a hallucination because she's bleeding to death.
And they mentioned hallucinations in the movie
They
too.
did,
Yep.
yes.
Wait.
Yep. 'Cause
What part was it?
I can't remember exactly. Like, oh, shit, what did he say?
Yeah, I
because that was
remember
the
that.
other thing
Yeah.
that popped in my head. I was like, oh, that she might be hallucinating the whole thing.
Yeah, but I
About the
wish I
butterfly.
remember that part though. You're right.
He did say something about
He
hallucinations,
did.
but I can't remember what it was.
He did. That's why I want to watch it again.
But I mean, if it's the first one, I do think the movie would be pushing the narrative of God's not real, y'all are just being fooled, et cetera, et cetera. The second one would be more towards leaning,
Yeah.
There is an afterlife, and this is, I don't know.
I guess the ending for me made it feel not as heavy because it's kind of heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it lightened it up a little bit for me, the ending. So I like that. I do like heavy endings, but this time I didn't want it. I didn't want like the heavy ending, but yeah. So that ending kind of lightened it up for me.
I thought it was a heavy ending because I was sitting there like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
just
me
happened?
too.
Oh,
Did
really?
she
Yeah.
die? Or is she not dead? What just happened?
Yeah,
'Cause I was like, this is too buttoned up. This is too buttoned up for me to think that this is really what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny that if we're looking at the people in the room, which way you went. No, really, think about it. Think about it. The way you went versus the way me or Ken might have gone, it kind of goes straight to the point of the movie.
Damn.
Some people will walk away thinking one thing. Other people will walk away thinking another thing based on belief or disbelief. So I think it's an interesting way to end a movie like this.
No, yeah, it
With
was.
no
It was.
With no clear answers. Right.
No, yeah, and I'm for that. Like, I like it, man. I think it's a well-rounded movie, man. I think it's a well-rounded movie. It pleases everyone to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So
Because you get to walk away with your own.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like Inception.
I am
Top
curious
percent.
to hear like other Christians' perspectives besides Rod, because I could see Christians being pissed. About
Really?
this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because he's criticizing religion throughout the entire
I
film.
mean, he picked it apart, bro.
Yes, he is picking religion apart. He's saying the entire point of religion is control. Now, this is just a person in the film. That doesn't mean that that's what the filmmakers are saying. Because if we're going with your interpretation of the ending, it could be the filmmaker saying, well, look, you're going to run into disbelievers. Don't listen to them because look what happened to Paxton. She made it out. She made it out alive because she had faith. So you never know. You never know which way this would go. And from everything that I could find when I was Googling these motherfuckers, they won't answer the question. So I don't think we're ever going to know, which is brilliant.
I do wonder. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, and I think the way they picked it apart, but also having a character in there, like, hold their belief firm.
Yes.
And didn't move. So even though all of these things are being presented, that one person went through the door of belief, and the other person went through the door you could interpret as a non-believer, who at the end of the field, her belief was reaffirmed even more. So she had stronger faith when it got to the end.
Paxton.
Yeah.
I think Barnes didn't have as strong of faith because of her father's situation. She said she never felt his presence or whatever after he passed away, and I think she struggled with that.
Could that be also Jesus?
I don't know if I agree with that part. I think she had faith.
I don't know, man. I think she was kind of wearing. I think she was well read. I think she was well read.
Man.
I felt like she had more faith than Paxton.
I
Yeah,
feel
because
like they
she
both
didn't
had enough faith.
because she didn't believe about the resurrection and any of that shit. Like she never believed any of that stuff. She was real well read. The other one,
Wait. What do you mean she didn't believe in the resurrection part? What do you mean?
Barnes.
What do you mean she didn't believe?
She's
it?
like that lady is not coming back.
Oh, you're talking about the prophet in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's
But
like,
she
no.
believed in her own faith and in God and Jesus being resurrected and all that, didn't she?
I think that's the part I think she was wavering on. I think she was wavering on it because of the hardship that she's going through in her life. You know how some people go through, like, you know, people they start questioning God when loved ones die.
But I thought the hardship sent her to that, though, right?
That's what I thought, because she was pushing back on what Reed was saying more than Paxton was, because when he was talking about how all of these religions had similarities, so by the time we even get to Christianity has stolen shit from 2 religions back. She was like, okay, well, you're talking about all
Right.
of the similarities, but you're not talking about any of the differences. So I feel like she was the only one that was really pushing back.
I do feel like she was pushing back, but man, it's hard to explain. Like I feel like she was pushing back because she had the knowledge. I feel like you could have the knowledge but still lose faith.
Agree.
That's what I'm.
I just never got any impression that she had lost faith, because she wasn't believing the shit in the basement because he's crazy.
Yeah.
As Christian as you want to be, you're not gonna believe a motherfucker that has you locked in the house that tells you a motherfucker in the basement is gonna wake up and be like, "Hey, bro, I'm back."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that. Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because she asked her in the beginning. Paxton asked Barnes in the beginning, she was the one that say, "Have you had that moment where, you know, that brought you closer to God?" And she never answered. I don't think she ever answered and said, "Yeah." Okay. I don't think she ever answered that.
She has so much faith. She was still trying to like that match when
I
he
know.
showed.
I was like, "Baby,
Bro, the way he
girl."
walked up afterwards and just lit it for her.
I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" He just
That's
went-
God real. God real.
Right. Oh shit! I didn't even connect that. So the people that had the faith, they couldn't even light the match that could have saved their lives, and he walked down there immediately and showed them exactly how to do it. I didn't even connect that part. Man, this
That's a
movie's
lot.
tight.
It's deep, man.
This movie's tight. I can't wait to watch this again.
Yeah, me too. I want to watch it again too.
Ron gonna come back atheist as fuck.
No.
Big pentagram on his shirt.
Nope.
Nope. Stop playing. Nope. Yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed this one. I was really thinking I might have been on an island.
I
or just
understand
me
why
and Ken.
I understand why you might think that, but nah.
I thought this was gonna bother you spiritually. I thought Spike was gonna be like, "This shit is boring."
It
as
did
hell.
bother me spiritually. It did at first, but then, like I said, I think the ending was the saving grace for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like
ending was saving
the
grace for me.
dialogue for me was.
Yeah, I like the dialogue.
dialogue-driven movies.
So
I've
good,
never
man.
had an issue with that. I've never had an issue with this type of dialogue. So, yeah, that didn't. You know, it messes with my spirit, sure, but like I said, man, like, you know, by the end, I was like, all right, cool, we good, we good.
Well, all right. Make sure you leave some comments on the Reddit. I'm really interested in seeing what y'all have to say about this one. So yeah, thank you for spending the evening with us, and we will see y'all next time. Oh, by the way, rest in peace to Tony Todd, aka the Candy Man. May he rest in peace.
And
Final Destination.
And
Oh,
Final
yeah,
Destination,
Final
yeah.
Destination.
And Quincy Jones.
yes, I was supposed to say. Yeah, hey, we losing some man.
We are losing some legends this year, but y'all be safe out there, and we will see y'all next time. We out.
Peace.
The Frames Per Second podcast.